Viewer discretion is advised.
The following is a real-time speedrun, brought to you by the affiliates you see below. So before we get into the official 2018 run for Tanglewood, I thought why not show off my old Kickstarter demo run from 2016. This run was recorded on December 6th of 2016, literally right after we had, I think, a little bit of snow here in the state of Massachusetts, at least up here in Lynn. This track here, it's not in the final build of the game, but my goodness, this is the best track in the entire title, which I feel very horrible didn't make the final cut. This song and this entire game has given me the enjoyment of nature. It's gotten me in tune with nature, most specifically nature in the forest in the winter. And to see how dynamically different this build, which I'm assuming took about 4 years to make, and then the final build, which took another 2 years, or at least 1.5. My goodness, it's amazing as to how much this game had changed within the course of at least 18 months. And it truly shows. There are a lot of things about the way that Tanglewood is presented in this particular build that you wouldn't see happen in the final cut, or if it was presented in a certain way, it would be shown differently. Instead of the main antagonist showing up at night, terrorizing Nim, you instead see a boulder go down, which starts off the main run. Though, just to clarify, this real-time speedrun, or at least the majority of most of my runs, they all begin when I hit the start button. And we're about to come up to one of my most favorite things in this run. Hold up. Yes, NBC! Yeah, for copyright reasons, the NBC logo sound, I'm assuming, had to be omitted from the final 2018 build. But let me just clarify. These folks, Matt and the crew, were able to sneak in this strictly for the level complete sound. Particularly at the end of the final act, be it Act 2, 3, or 4. Act 4 in the case of the first level, Act 3 in the case of chapters 2 to 6, and then Act 2 for chapter 7. And now here we are running away from the Dejek. Yes, I know it's possibly pronounced the Russian way, Jack. But I prefer Dejek. I like the D. No pun intended. I like to pronounce the D. It's a force of habit with me. I just love pronouncing the letter D. 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 Don't you remember that from, like, some Merry Melodies cartoon? I think it was some dude named the G-Man. And he's just at a table. You see him with his hands down. He's like, G. 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 Speaking of E, NBC. You're gonna hear that every single ducking time. Get used to it. Except in the 2018 build, because I can't force myself to say that every single time. But to be truthful, NBC, I want to say, is part of the core influence for why I do some of the things that I do on this channel. It's also part of the reason why you see the loading screen and the end of video splash screen at the end of every program that I do. Every single time you see that, the loading screen is usually for about 3 seconds, unless if it's a special one. And the other one, the end of video splash screen is usually for about 8 seconds. That is influence from Saturday Night Live. And to no surprise either. You know, Saturday Night Live is part of the reason why I even use that template at all. And to be truthful, I love it. Now here we are with the green fuzzy. Let me just say NBC again. NBC! Now, the way that time stop works in this, it was specifically this build. I'm not sure if other builds have it too. But when you slow down time, you're slowed down too. You're putting the walking speed. So you have to, yeah, and everything else is slowed down too, even the fuzzy. So you have to be very strict with how you direct yourself when using this ability. Again, this was not easy to get in 7 minutes. NBC! This was not easy to do in 7 minutes. And had I messed up even a little bit on that segment, I would have failed. Would have failed in getting to 7 minutes. Or sub 7. I think we're at the end of the level here. I think it's a pit there too, so just be careful. Nope, it's not. NBC! Yeah, I'm kind of surprised though that they had in the original build, Matt and the crew had Nim go to sleep at the end of every portion. I mean, he must have been really. I mean, Nim must have been really tired at the end of all these acts. But then again, why would you constantly go to sleep at night? No. It's kind of like that old logic in the Three Stooges: wake up and go to sleep. Anybody remember wake up and go to sleep? Mo would probably smack Larry or Shemp, or even Curly at that, and he would say that. Though if it was Joe, we all know what would happen. Not so hard. Oh man, I miss Joe Besser is probably part of the reason why the later generation of the Three Stooges, that generation of the Three Stooges was interesting for the most part. There were a few remakes of certain episodes, Idiot's Deluxe most notably, and I think the oil episode. But yeah, it's a very underrated generation, without a doubt. NBC! That's the third to last time you're going to be hearing that. Second to last with a power-up. Also in the final build, you actually could just mash down on the C button and abuse the glide feature. Actually, it's more controlled, it's more tamed in that build. Also, the jacks have very horrible hitbox range. You can literally get eaten by the thing when you're standing behind it. Oh, I don't like that. Last time you're gonna hear NBC. All right, and it doesn't take too much to handle the jack. Now all you gotta do is smack down on the B button a little bit there. Run time is when I say for the final NBC. And that's it. So yeah, there really isn't too much strategy to this run. All you necessarily have to do when you know you can do it, time your jumps. That's it. All you have to do is time your jumps, make sure that you use the power-ups precisely, and the rest is history. The rest is history. There's nothing more that you'll have to do. It's a perfect run, and, you know, 6:59:37, I'm sure that can be improved upon by some people. I think that some people could possibly get a sub 6:30, but, you know, 6:59:37, that's fine. I'll take that. I think that is world record, too, because I don't think anybody's done a run of this build. Contrary to the fact that it was recorded a lot by fans when they saw the game originally. Either way, though, if you want to get Tanglewood right now, you can get it on Steam. Comes with the original Mega Drive ROM, and I think also one of the beta builds, too. So with that said, you know, this is just going to be a little preview of things to come. Stay tuned later today for the 2018 version of the game and its run. You'll enjoy it. A little over an hour, but you'll have a fun time. Either way, I'm freelance entertainer Roya Rockwood. Have a good day.